um, Beautifully said. Toughest days. It's one of those things where it's really difficult to even say that you had a tough day, especially when we were doing this in the time that we're doing it, and being so aware of what I think most of the world was dealing with. And we were living in a bubble and we were safe and we were able to be working. And there was, and really, the expectation of this film, I think people kind of forget, like, to a degree, this was just like, this is as indie as a film gets, it's just us putting our money into something. It wasn't sold to Netflix yet, it's just us getting together as people who care about each other and like, yo, you want to go make something, in the middle of nowhere together. We're like, all right, and we all got together and we did it, and if there was a hope that we could make sure that people were financially taken care of, and had equity and ownership in our film the same way we all three share the ownership of this film, then that would have been the goal, right? Was to make sure that our crew were taken care of, and they were, thankfully. So really, the thing was just like, I was just so grateful to be in a position where I was safe. My loved ones were safe. I was being able to do something, be creative, try whatever the hell I wanted to try. There was no studio telling me, giving me notes. There was no, whatever. I could look at my own dailies. I could change whatever I wanted. I could do my own hair, makeup, however I wanted. I could pick out my outfit however I wanted with my stylist. There was such a freedom there. And the only people I had to answer to were the people that are on this call, my fellow producers, and that was it. So it's like, it's difficult to even like say that any of it was like was tough, because it's like, damn, I feel like I don't even have the right to say that, because it was such a beautiful experience and I was okay. But I mean, of course it is challenging to like go to these dark places and to push yourself to say things and do things that you're like, oh my gosh, why would you say that, Marie? Or whatever, or to even watch somebody in front of you have to go through it and deal with it. I mean, of course it can be exhausting, but it also is fulfilling, and it's, to what John David said, it's cathartic, and it can be healing. Because I was like using her too to just let out all the shit I let out. I was like, maybe I don't cry enough. I need to cry, and I just let it out, or maybe, I emotionally block myself a lot, so allowing myself to feel things is really, really important. And the safe space that I was given by my fellow actor and my director was the place I needed to do my best work. So I mean, specific day, I mean, I think the knife scene took some out of me, uh because I was trying to double trick myself, right? I was trying to double, be in a movie inside a movie inside a movie, and knowing what the punchline of it was. It's hard to like trick yourself into being in that place, because I wanted to feel like, no, this is where Marie is right now. This is how she feels. So it was a tough day, and I was just blocking myself because I get far too in my head. And then when I do that, I'm like critiquing myself, and I'm like, I'm taking too long. Everybody probably thinks I'm being ridiculous. I'm just like in my head, and Sam will come sit with me and talk to me, and JD came over and sat with me and talked with me, and I just wasn't, nothing was happening. I was like just not finding it. We scratched the dialogue. He was like, you know what's there, forget it. I don't care about the words. Let's rewrite it, right? And then we wrote something else that was kind of reminiscent to, I believe, like a Euphoria scene, because there's like this world that maybe this film Imani might be like, it's like Euphoria but a movie in another world, or something. And so I was like, what if it was like a scene from Euphoria, and that would be kind of funny because people would remember. And that didn't work out. I was like, this is way too meta and just weird. And then I was like, so that didn't work. And then it would just took a lot of trial and error. And there was one time where Sam was like, you know what? Forget it. Forget all of it. Just go out there. You're holding yourself back. Just yell at John David. Just whatever you need to say, just use him as a vessel to get it out. poor John David. I'm so sorry. But I just was like, I was just venting, honestly. I did a whole take of me he's like, Sam's off to the side, like, just scream. I'm like, and I just go off on whatever I needed to go off on, and after that, guess what? We still didn't get it. It wasn't until the next day. He was like, you know what? It's fine. We'll come back. We'll get it tomorrow. Next day I approached it. I was like, you know what? Just don't be in your head. Try to think about it as little as possible and just go straight into it. And again, the freedom to just try whatever. And that's when the laughing and the clinking of the knife, I was just like, I'm just going to let my emotions take over, go as dark as I need to go, and have some fun with it a little bit. And we ended up getting it, but it was tough because I was really tough on myself that I didn't get it the first night.